John Q. Has a son. His son's name was
Michael.
And basically what happens was John Q.
He also has a wife.
He has a wife.
A
Happy
part.
family.
Yeah.
Full family.
Full family. But basically what happens is John Q is a factory worker, and they don't make a lot of money. They don't have a lot of money.
Yeah, he's not making ends meet.
No. And his wife is a grocery...
I think she's a waitress.
I thought it was a grocery clerk.
Yeah, I think she works in a grocery store.
Yeah, I was about to say grocery clerk.
Yeah, okay. Did you watch the same
Yeah,
movie?
but it's a new job. She just started. Anyway,
just
like we don't need to get in the weeds here, but right.
Yeah.
They're having trouble making ends meet.
Yes.
Michael's, 6, right? He might be first grade.
I don't think he's 6. I think he's a little older. I think he's probably like 8 or 9.
Yeah, I think he's
You
7.
think so?
Yeah, I'd probably say he's 8
I think
or
he's
9.
7.
Regardless, he's in early grammar school,
Uh-huh.
and I feel like the mom is just kind of getting back into the workforce, right? They, and in the opening moments of meeting this family, John Q's car, actually his wife's car, is getting repossessed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then they're down to one car, which is his truck. And then fast forward a little bit, they're at a Little League game because his son plays baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, he hits the ball, he runs to first, runs to second, and then he has a heart attack, I think, or something like that, or cardiac
arrest.
something. And then they take him to the hospital, and then they find out that his heart is enlarged like 3 times his size,
Right.
and that he needs to get a heart transplant within the next few months.
Or
he
it
passes
was
away.
specifically they said months. How much time does he have to live? Months, days, weeks, even days.
Yes.
That's specifically what they said.
Yeah.
James Woods said that line.
That's like the only line I remember from the movie.
Good recollection.
But the thing is, their insurance doesn't cover it.
Yeah.
So then what they do is they sell a bunch of their stuff. They raise a bunch of money with their friends. Even their two family friends help them out a lot. And eventually,
good friends.
Good friends. And then John sells his truck, which is kind of like the last thing that he sells. And then his wife calls him at the hospital and says that they're going to release Michael.
Yeah.
And that
yeah, they're trying to get Michael on the Oregon donor list,
Yeah.
and they don't have enough money because it's like $250,000 minimum for like all the fees and everything, and they're trying like everything, like literally everything. And I guess the point where they're gonna release Michael.
Yeah, you have to do something.
Do something now.
Yeah. Do something now. Like his wife was like, you keep saying you'll fix it, but you have to do something.
Right.
Which then makes John go to the hospital.
Don't put this on her.
No,
He made a choice.
It's all her fault.
Which then pushes John to an edge of realizing that his son's going to die. So then he goes to the hospital, finds the main heart transplant doctor that was Michael's main doctor, talking to a rich couple, saying joking around, saying hey, you got your new heart, now you can play tennis and all that stuff. Kind of basically showing that the rich will get what they want.
They get theirs, right.
And that this guy's making plans to hang out with them and stuff, and then the doctor shushes a nurse away that's trying to talk to the rich couple because he wants the attention from the couple and stuff.
Well, he shushes her away and flirts with her and tells her, I don't know, it's this whole thing that goes on in that little micro scene.
That micro scene is
incredible.
Incredible. We'll definitely break down a lot of the scenes too. Then John gets the doctor and tells him that he made the payment, and then why they're kicking him out. He'll give the money and stuff, and the doctor's like, "There's no way, we can't do it." Then John takes him hostage with a gun, locks the whole emergency wing down of the hospital.
Yep.
Some people get out, and then he was able to capture a few people, and then I don't even know what else to say.
And it becomes this whole hostage scenario.
He's basically he becomes a hostage scenario. He's got like maybe like 10-ish people in there that are trapped with him. They have their own issues, right? Like there's a pregnant lady.
There's a guy that beats his girlfriend.
Not yet. Not yet. Well, she has a broken arm from a car crash.
From airbag.
A failed airbag deployment.
From a 1980, and they didn't start making airbags until 1988. I don't even know how he knew that.
That's just the stuff that John Q knows. Okay,
he studied up on cars.
Right?
Even though he lost.
Well,
them.
in his resume for the job that he applied for, he's overqualified, right?
Yeah.
So there's this is a
Mm-hmm.
compounding factor. I mean, there are so many sub themes in here. All right, whether we're talking about healthcare, I don't want to cut the summary short, right? But just the themes in here are dense.
Yeah. So just to I'm going to speed through the summary.
Yeah.
The hostage situation goes good. The hostages actually get to know John and understand his story a lot better.
And he's also...
And they kind of grow to actually appreciate John. He lets hostages go, like...
he's also trying to run the hospital, by the way. He's not, like, sending endangered people away. He's, like, trying to help everyone, like, in the hospital. He's giving them
free health care that they wouldn't have gotten before. Like, he's letting the pregnant lady go with the husband and letting the... Spanish mom with the baby out and letting them go so that they can get the stuff they need because they can't get it in the emergency room. Yep. And he's not trying to hurt anyone. He just wants his son to be on the list for the heart.
Right.
So then basically the police chief comes. There's the detective. His name's Frank Grimes.
Yeah.
And then there's a police chief comes, and the police chief's like, "We gotta end this now. This is making me look bad.
Right.
Election.
It's a politics game for him.
Politics game.
Right. It's an election year.
Yeah,
and I was just like, man, we just got out of this. You're dragging me back in.
Frank's trying to really work with John and help ease the situation. And the police chief's like, "Get him out. We need this done now. It's making me look bad," kind of thing.
Right.
Eventually, they get the security guy. They run security there. They get a sniper in the building. They use his wife and his son to call on the phone in the main room to get John to walk to a different room to answer the phone.
Yeah.
Talks to his son. It's a very emotional scene. Ends the scene. The sniper shoots John in the arm.
Yeah.
Then John takes the de-pantses the sniper, takes him outside, and is like, "What are you trying to do? Kill me? Like, I'm just trying to do this for my son. Like, I'll die for my son. This is not. I'm not trying to hurt anyone. Like, this is for my son." Basically, his demand is, "I want my son there." They get the son there. He gets his son in the emergency room, and he's at his. He's like, "They're trying to kill me. They're not going to give me his heart. I'm just going to kill myself and then just take my heart and give it to my son."
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Spoiler alert, if you want to watch the movie or not.
We're breaking down the whole movie. It's totally worth a watch.
Yeah, it's totally worth a watch.
This,
he's about to shoot himself, finds out there's a heart.
Yeah.
And that his son's getting the heart. The son gets the heart. John gets arrested, and they put him on trial. He's innocent on attempted murder and something else, but he's found guilty on like
the kidnapping
kidnapping people. And he's gonna get like 3 to 5 years in jail. And then
the sentencing we don't actually see, which is interesting. Yeah. Like, it wasn't even at the end where they're like, John Q was ultimately sentenced to blah, blah, blah.
But everyone that he held hostage was in the room with him except for Mitch. Me and Matt noticed that everyone was in the room except for Mitch. Because they liked John. They actually appreciated what he was doing for his son, and they had no bad ill will for him holding them hostage. So basically that's the movie. And it ends with his son and him like doing like the whole flex thing they used to do and stuff, and then it ends. But so let's go to our opinion, like our.
All right. What do you think? First, what do you think out of 10?
Okay, so 1 out of 10.
Out of 10.
So 1 out of 10.
All right, out of 12.
1 out of 10, and usually how we do it, it's not just a straight like 6, 7. It could be like a 7.4. 7.5.
I mean,
that's what I'm gonna do. But,
okay. What's the difference between a 7.4 and a 7.5? You can't tell me that. You cannot tell me.
Be quiet. So you can say straight.
I know you're a philosophy major, but the difference is actually 0.1.
I didn't think about that.
Okay, so
that's true.
okay, so Ian, what was your
numerical?
If you were gonna give a numerical thing of like movie, like what's in that numerical is like people should watch this. Your opinion of the movie and like just the overall movie, like of like that, you know. So and we don't give 10s. Me and Kirsten don't give 10s at least because
I'll give it 9.9 here and there, but like 10.
A 10 is like it's the only good movie out.
Right.
But it's like if you ever get another movie, you're like that's a 10. It's like you know.
Yeah. Right. No, that stuff gets thrown around.
Yeah.
Not every movie can be Deadpool and Wolverine.
No.
So
That's right.
This is, but I would rate this very high. It's like it's in that early 2000s, a little bit tropey kind of thing going on, but it was just very well executed. I thought it was exceptionally well cast. Anne Hesh was, detestable and had her own arc. James Woods did too. My problem's Denzel Washington. He's terrible.
You don't like him?
I mean, he's community oriented as a person. He's a talented. He's attractive.
Yeah.
He's articulate. And then there's this scene where he's walking. He's sending Michael off to school, and you can see that he's got a gut.
Yeah.
And even in that, he's an Adonis of a beautiful man. And he just, he makes life difficult for other, ordinarily leveled, attractive people like myself.
Yeah.
Or
and
below
I just can't stand him.
Like you.
No, Denzel Washington, man. He's absolutely incredible. I love every movie except for Safe Room, was it?
I like him in Equalizer.
Oh man, he is just fantastic.
Yeah.
That's the same guy.
He takes this role that could be very very flat, very like kind of two-dimensional, and brings his skill, his craft to it in such a beautiful way. I think this movie is solidly. I've come up with an 8.6.
8.6.
I think in terms of the casting, in terms of the execution, in terms of the pacing, thinking about the era in which it was produced, which kind of cuts against it because such incredible cinema has been created in the past 22 years.
An 8.6.
8.6.
Yeah. Kiskin.
I would say I'd give the movie maybe like I'll do 6.1 out of 10.
Whoa.
Right. So I'll give the good points about the movie. I like the commentary about the healthcare system, right?
Yeah.
With how it actually impacts people's lives, and it's really into the interpersonal aspect of it instead of like statistics that you usually see online.
Yeah.
It's really shoved in your face with the people that have worked there, and then they're kind of being cold, but they've done this all their lives. And John Q, he's like, this is like my son, like my actual living flesh and blood kid that you guys just don't care about because I don't have enough money, right? It's a cool ethical dilemma in which, what are you going to do? But besides that, right, I just felt like there wasn't enough going on. I felt like the whole hostage situation, I feel like there should have been more happening with the police, maybe doing more things instead of sitting outside.
They infiltrated the air duct.
You see,
and staged this whole phone thing. What more do you want this going on?
And then John Q, he beat the guy that was special ops armed guy that he just tugged him out and then beat him up. I don't even. He's isn't he a trained professional?
He didn't tug him out. The guy fell through the ceiling because.
Well, he tugged his leg out of the ceiling.
Sure,
right?
sure, but the guy started to fall through the ceiling.
Yeah.
Right, which was just the thing, and I mean, and he was put in a die or die situation.
He's got
and
adrenaline pumping after
right.
being shot as well. So I'm like,
oh yeah, adrenaline plus Balkan rage plus.
Yeah.
I feel like the special ops guy would have definitely beaten him in any in like a normal circuit, or not like a normal circuit.
I see.
But like
You
it's not
thought
realistic.
You were watching reality.
Yeah. I criticize
John
anything
Q,
that's not like
for
reality.
anyone at home, John Q is a movie.
yeah.
It is
Not
cinema.
No.
It is not real.
Well, it's got to fit within reality. Yes. I mean, it has real things like put into
All
it.
right.
And I feel like it's got to fit.
We've got the movie on trial here, not you. All right. I don't even want to go down the rabbit hole of these are the movies that you like, and then look at the unrealistic bullet holes that are left there. So we're just gonna leave
There's
it.
nothing unrealistic.
You thought that it should have been more policey.
There's a little bit more realistic about My Little Pony.
And
Seriously.
and you know,
And in
it's just
Trolls
like,
2.
yeah.
I'm not really those kind of like the story itself. Like I don't really get attached to like families at all. At least me specifically.
Right.
Like I don't care for at least I didn't really care for any of the characters in this movie. Honestly, like although like I can like get the aspect of people caring about them.
Sure.
Right. I just didn't get the emotional attachment. I feel like maybe they should have done more in the opening as well, like to like instead of just playing like one baseball game, like maybe like have them grow up or something, to be more emotionally attached. But I just didn't feel it. And
So you only care for athletes? Is that what?
that's right. If you,
I like Liam and people who hit triples, Michael. So get a grip.
if you don't run track, I don't care.
So I'm gonna give this movie a 7.8. I think.
Oh.
I think it was a really good movie overall. I like a lot of the micro scenes we were talking about earlier. Just those micro scenes add so much more layers, and they're just so quick. But if you like really pay attention to them, that they add a lot. They've added a lot more layers. I feel like to the story that people just don't really pay attention to and stuff.
Yeah.
Like them talking about the healthcare system and all that stuff, and the